Live from WTOC, the Southeast News leader. The News Now starts on WTOC Plus.
Well, thanks for joining us here for the news on WTOC Plus. I'm digital anchor Jude Binkley. Believe it or not, we are just over 1 week away until Christmas, and we need your help to help make our local kids' Christmases merry and bright. Today is the final day of the WTOC Big Give Back Toy Drive, and all day we're going to be live at the Walmart on Whitmarsh Island. That's where we find our very own Joe Hennessy. Joe, how's it going out there this morning?
What's up, Jude? We're having a fun time out here. We got the music going. Walmart actually turned their own music on, so we're kind of having a little battle for who's in charge outside. But regardless, we're having fun. A lot of people are stopping by and giving some toys, so we've already collected thousands since this drive started. Today's the last day, like you just said, and we need thousands more still. So as we see behind us right now, we've got gifts, we've got toys, we've got Kerplunk and the truck and the toys and the squishy things like that, and we're also joined here by Corporal Helmick here. Early on, what else do we need?
Pretty much everything. Older kids, we'll take anything that you can donate to us is great. It'll go to a great cause.
Obviously, we're here early on. We've seen a handful of people. What's kind of your expectation? I mean, at similar events, and what has kind of happened throughout the day?
Well, as we go on to each Walmart, we've gotten more and more. So our expectation is that we're going to get even more at this Walmart. So come on out to the Whitmarsh Island Walmart so we can make it bigger than the other ones.
And it's definitely not like we haven't told people to. We've been telling people every single day since this drive started. So what's kind of your takeaway from this kind of event?
That people are really generous. You'd be surprised. Hopefully you're not surprised. We want people to be generous, but people come in, they go in, they're not expecting to buy anything for kids, but when they come in, they're like, they see us, I'll get one thing at least, and they come out maybe with more than one thing, but just at least one thing, just an extra item when they come back out.
That's always the shock for me. I don't know how you feel about that, but when somebody does say, what's kind of going on here, we tell them what's going on, and they come out with more than just one toy. You're kind of expecting one and done, but then some people leave with handfuls. So like you were saying, really, if one person, what was the saying? If one person brings one gift, that's all you have. That's all you have to do, and it would be a great help. All of that added up will be more than enough for us to use on Toyland. Yeah. And we need about 2,500 more toys, about 3,000-ish, around that range. So, So I'm out here early. She's out here early. We're all out here early, but we're here all day as well, Jude. So we will catch back up in about an hour or so and have an update for you.
Yeah, sounds great, Joe. It's been awesome seeing over the past 3 weeks now just the different turnouts at the different Walmarts. I am really curious if Whitmarsh can top the Abercorn Walmart, because that had a heck of a turnout last week. So we'll have to see. Maybe a little bit of a community battle right there. But, Joe, thanks for checking in with us. We'll see you again at 11. All right, and I'm going to kind of take Joe's job for a minute because we do have a traffic alert for you. Hinesville PD says due to a significant water main disruption, McDowell Road is closed until further notice. So you should please plan ahead and try to use alternative routes. They also say that they appreciate the public's patience as crews are on scene working to fix that issue. Well, moving now to the Crime Watch. This is new this morning. The suspect charged with killing a Beaufort County woman nearly 40 years ago is now out on bond. Now, according to court records, Cortez Lake posted bond and was released from custody last Friday just after 5 p.m. He's charged with killing Margit Schuler back in 1987. Police arrested Lake just about a month ago after DNA evidence linked him to the crime. On December 3rd, his attorney requested for a judge to reconsider bond in the case. The judge granted that request last week and reset bond at $100,000. Make sure you stick with WTOC for any updates. Well, this morning we now know a Georgia native is one of the students who was injured during the shooting at Brown University. Jacob Spears from Columbia County, Georgia, is now recovering after being shot in his stomach on Saturday. Spears says he was able to run outside and call 911 as other students helped stop his bleeding. He only started as a freshman at Brown in August and had planned to fly home tomorrow for the holidays. Thankfully, he is expected to make a full recovery. In state news this morning, Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis will voluntarily testify before a Senate State Subcommittee. They have been investigating the now-dropped election indictment against President Donald Trump. Now, this testimony is almost 2 years in the making, and just last week, District Attorney Willis abruptly agreed to testify. That decision came the same day the state Supreme Court was going to hear arguments from both Willis and the committee of mostly Republicans. They felt they had the authority to make Willis testify. The committee wants to grill Willis about her relationship with the election indictment's top prosecutor, Nathan Wade. They claim she may have financially benefited from putting him at the helm of the case, as the two vacationed together during the investigation. Now, during a press conference yesterday, Willis was defiant ahead of her meeting with the panel.
I can tell you, as you were one of those children who wanted Christmas early, Christmas comes tomorrow. We are in a country that has leaders that don't know how to lead and are not leaders.
It is important to note that ahead of this testimony, the committee cannot discipline Willis in any way. They can only make recommendations for changes to laws surrounding prosecutors in the state of Georgia. Moving now to national news, Nick Reiner could face the death penalty after Los Angeles officials announced they will charge him in the murders of his parents, director Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle. Officials say they believe he killed his parents with a knife, though they have not given many details on the case, saying they prefer to present that evidence in court. This comes as new surveillance footage shows the moment Nick Reiner was taken into custody. CBS News' Michael George has more.
New surveillance video shows Nick Reiner the night he was arrested inside a gas station and later across the street as police cars pull up and surround him. Police say he was taken into custody without incident.
This case is heartbreaking and deeply personal.
Now, Nick Reiner is behind bars and facing first-degree murder charges in the killings of his parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner.
These charges carry a maximum sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole or the death penalty. No decision at this point has been made with respect to the death penalty.
The 32-year-old is awaiting his first court appearance because he hasn't yet been medically cleared, according to his attorney.
Every single inmate goes through a medical clearance before they can be transported to court. Every one of them. Okay. And that's a process. It's just a procedural issue.
This as new details are also emerging about Nick Reiner's movements in the hours before his parents' bodies were discovered with stab wounds inside their home in the Brentwood section of Los Angeles. Sources tell CBS News that on Saturday night, the Reiners attended a Christmas party at the home of comedian Conan O'Brien, and that Rob and Nick had a loud argument. It's still unknown when the alleged knife attack occurred. Police haven't given many details on the case or what led them to Nick Reiner. He's currently being held without bond. Michael George, CBS News.
Well, moving now to education news. Student achievement, teacher support, and school safety are top priorities. Those are among the requests that South Carolina's Superintendent of Education has for lawmakers in the coming legislative session. South Carolina State House reporter Mary Green has the details.
State Superintendent Ellen Weaver tells me her top priority for lawmakers when they return to session here next month is to establish a funding source that'll help rural and charter schools pay for much needed building improvements.
This infrastructure bank idea would also include a dedicated stream of $20 million a year for school safety improvements to again make that a recurring and sustainable source of funding so that we can continue to keep our schools safe.
Weaver's proposed infrastructure bank is part of her plan to boost school safety next year. She's also focusing on student achievement, including asking for additional funding to help support early literacy and math interventions so students don't fall behind as they get older. And she wants to do more to support teachers, including raising minimum salaries at every step of the pay schedule. Under her plan, no teacher would be paid less than $50,500 in South Carolina, in line with the governor's longstanding goal of a $50,000 statewide minimum.
It's a matter of keeping our promise to them, and it's also a matter of really focusing on restoring the respect that educators deserve as the professionals that they are in our classrooms every day.
Lawmakers will return to session here next month and start taking up agency budget requests shortly after that. Reporting from the State House, I'm Mary Green.
Turning now to sports news. After strong backlash over high prices, FIFA has added lower-priced tickets for next year's World Cup, which, of course, is coming right here to Georgia. The new tickets... Pardon me, I don't have a video pulled up for that. I do apologize, but just the quick notes I have. The new tiers offer 1,000 limited $60 tickets for each of the 104 matches coming to Canada, the United States, and Mexico. However, FIFA says that those tickets are only for the federations of the teams that they represent. It will ultimately be up to the federations to distribute those tickets to fans. Of course, we should note Atlanta is one of the host cities for next year's World Cup. 6 matches will be played at the Benz, the first one on June 15th, and then the city of Atlanta is also hosting a semifinal on July 15th, 1 month later. All right, well, this is a pretty cool story. A good deed helps create a new friendship. When a Georgia woman recognized a grocery store employee and offered him a drive home, things developed into a regular carpooling situation. Olivia Dunn has the story.
Met in the produce section at Kroger. They didn't speak much or even know each other's names until Roden saw Tidwell making his nearly 5-mile walk to work along Gray Highway and decided to stop.
And I said, that looked like the young guy that works at Kroger. So I turned around, went back and got him.
Tidwell says walking or biking is the only way he can get to and from work, and it's often a dark and dangerous trip coming home.
I mean, I don't really know her that much, but I decided to take a chance.
That was nearly a year and a half ago, and now Roden picks Tidwell up several times a week. But Tidwell wasn't the only one in need of a pickup. Roden says her son Carlos passed away a few months before she offered Keith that first ride. She says her son loved helping others and says she can feel Carlos in this act of kindness.
I think he would have wanted me to pick him up and take him to work, especially when he know how far he have to walk at night.
Now, a year and a half later, the carpool is a routine. Tidwell says he feels safer, and the relationship has grown from strangers to friends.
It's pretty nice. I mean, she's nice to me. And I mean, I learned that she has a brother.
Roden says she's grateful she pulled the car over that day and says she had no hesitation letting a stranger into her car and her life.
I was not nervous at all because I felt like I was doing a good thing, taking him to work, get him to work safe. So, hey, I wasn't nervous. See you later, Keith.
All right, a little bit of good news to round out the show here on WTOC Plus, and that is going to wrap things up here for our 10 o'clock show. We will be back at the top of the hour at 11 o'clock. We'll be live again from the Walmart on Whitmarsh Island. Of course, we're doing the big Give Back Toy Drive. We'll be there all day throughout our shows, both on air and online. If you'd like to come out and visit the team, you're more than welcome to do so. We're trying to make a difference for almost 3,000 kids this year and still have quite a few donations that we're looking for. So, that'd be a wonderful thing. And with that, we are going to wrap up the show here on WTOC Plus. We'd like to thank you all for spending part of your morning with us. And we'll now join Local News Live in progress.